that I needed to go alone.
Because I wasn't on board at first.
I know.
Like, I just wasn't feeling it. I was like, really upset. I was like, why do you have to go out of the country by yourself? Like, that was just like red.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Blackbird 91. We're talking to you about Marsau and Tish'S relationship. I want to break down this particular scene where they talk about him going to Africa for a little while. And so I want to break down why I believe that Tish needs to find her voice quickly, because Marsau is not in the business of trying to aid her, magnify, amplify her voice at all. He wants a quiet, subservient woman, and things have changed in their relationship for the longest time now. And until she decides to put up good boundaries, this situation will stay exactly the same. And so hopefully I can help not only speak about Tish, but anybody else who finds themselves relating to Tish in this situation. If you're new to the channel, do me a massive favor, like it, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the uploads. And for those of you who are returnees, you already know what it is, baby. You got the minerals, you got the minerals. Stay hydrated because the streets out there are hot. All right, cool. So you just heard Marsau talk about how he went to Africa. And one of the most important things about this scene is he talks about, says, first of all, thank you for allowing me to go to, thank you for understanding that I need to go to Africa. But she can counteracts that by saying, yeah, I wanted to go. I wasn't happy with it at first. Tish was never happy with this. In fact, she only resounded to letting him go because she felt like she had no other choice, right? And because he wouldn't honor her decision. She wouldn't honor he wouldn't honor her input in the relationship. Thus, when she said what she said, when he said what she said, she had to cower down and give in to him. And we see this in the course of later on in the episode where Maurice challenges Marsau about why he's not thinking about his wife, and that's very much what we're seeing in this part of the episode. Let's have a look.
Flags going up. Like, I've never been to Africa before, so it's like, why would we do that together as our first time?
I just want to dismiss, over there,
Now, she's asking a very good question. Why would we not do that together? And I think any relationship where you and one of the things that people have to understand is this can easily become an emotional betrayal. And what I mean by that is, or even a mental betrayal, if you want to call it that, we talk about different forms of intimacy: emotional, mental, spiritual, sexual, physical, and then financial. And in these intimacies, there are areas of where we can be loyal or we can betray. Okay, we can support, all right, or disengage. And what's really important is in these areas that we are communicating in the right fashion, right way. We're listening to one another to come to an agreement. We come to a space where we can both appreciate one another in these areas of intimacy. Here's my thing. When we get, for instance, this situation where she says I haven't been to Africa, that's more of a mental intimacy, talking about ideas, okay? Never been to Africa. Then you choose to go to Africa by yourself. You're actually doing her a disservice. Why? Because what you've done is you've robbed yourself and her of an opportunity to build and create memories that would last for the relationship, right? You've missed an opportunity to build an emotional intimacy by going on this trip and showing love and care to one another by choosing to do something that you both like to do. So I said in my live version of this that what would have been better would have been for him to choose a different location, go on that trip, go and take your time out, whatever you need to go and do. But you have to be aware this should not be one way. What I mean by this is in a relationship, it shouldn't be one way that only I get to do this, right? Can Marsau also stay with the kids? Will there be an opportunity for Tish to also go away maybe for a week or two and just chill and downtime and just forget about being a mother for 2 weeks? When I say that, I mean in the sense of not having to think about anything else and letting Marsau handle things. Is there an opportunity for that? There should be. There should be an opportune time for that where you get space, I get space to be able to come back to each other and then reconvene and re-energize. And I said this also in the live, right? Let's listen a bit more.
Phone doesn't work really, we're on a different time zone. And it's just like, I wanted to break away from this.
I have a lot of responsibilities on me.
Now, as you just heard him say right correctly, he said, look, you know what? In Africa, the time is different. I just wanted to break away from the usual time schedule. Fine. there is no issue with that, Marso. What you're failing to listen to, what you're failing to deep, what you're failing to understand is that your wife then comes after and says, I had a lot of responsibility. What was the compromise, right? I get it. You may have felt, under the cosh, may have felt, that, mentally it was too much. But then what are we doing as a compromise then? Either you go with her, go to Africa and explore Africa together as your first times together, or you choose maybe a very shorter vacation, which is much more closer, and then you also return the favor by saying, "Hey, babe, look, you two, you go away as well and have some time," right? That's potentially what you needed. Now, I do believe there's an aspect of Tish that may be a little bit clingy, and that could be because, like I said, when people are clingy, it's often because you know what they want to feel love, they want to feel connection, they want to feel affection, and sometimes what can happen is a lack of understanding or awareness even of themselves can make them overly want to be overly affectionate physically with their partner. And so again, that might be a conversation between the two of them. But more importantly, here, Marceau again missed the boat when she explained how she felt. Let's listen again.
So like, I think it would have been a nice trip for us to do together, but you didn't even offer, for us to do it together. It was just like, it's something I want to do for me.
Now, as you heard her say, listen, you didn't even offer. You want to do something that nice you want to do for me. Now, again, and this is why I'm talking about Tish being her voice, right? If this relationship is going to work, if you want this marriage to work, sir, you're going to need to listen. And he listens, but he ignores it, right? And he ignores it because he gets away with it. There's no consequences to action. I'm not asking Tish to go out here and start bopping heads. What I am asking for is to let him know, I have boundaries and I won't do this with you, right? There's no point me being in a marriage and I'm alone. There is no point me being in a marriage and I deal with all the kids and I'm working as well at the same time. Bear in mind, obviously, I know they had a deal originally that didn't involve her working, and she changed up the deal, which again is another. I've done a video on that some months back when they first had that conversation. I said, if you had a deal and you went into it and you changed your mind, imagine if a man says, "I don't want to work today." Do you know what I mean? Like, of course, it might be slightly different because men are expected to work. But again, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, if you agreed at the very beginning that you wanted to work, that you weren't going to work, you want to stay home, look after the kids, then you may have to change something. You may not be able to go into the office or maybe choose something that's very strenuous. You may have to choose something that's a little bit part-time-ish or whatever, right? And that may be your thing. And someone might say, well, why can't a woman change? Well, what can't a man change? No one would give a man room to say, I'm not working now. Why don't you work? And I'll look after the kids. No woman's expect. Do you know what I mean? Like, no one's going to accept that as a rule. And again, I understand there's a slight nuance here that men are expected to work. But I always say it's very, very, very careful. Are women expected to be in the kitchen? Are women expected to give birth? If you can't give birth, you're no longer a woman. Like, let's be very careful, right? Because we can put these expectations on men and expect them to do that. Oh, he should be doing that. But again, it changes dynamics. And I put this in the video when I did it. I said the moment she changed the contract of what they had already established, that was a dynamite to the relationship because everybody's coming to the relationship thinking this is what it is. And that's why I said, imagine if a man then changes his thought on working. I want to stay home and you work. You wouldn't expect that, right? But again, I'm totally for if you want to work or you don't want to work as a woman, you want to change that up. I think that's cool. I think that discussion needs to be had. And I think Marsau would have behaved the way he behaved anyhow. I'm not attributing his behavior now to that change that Tish made. He's always been like that because even in that conversation, he was showing that same energy that he's showing right now, which is no ability to listen, no ability to care, no ability to take in what she's saying or be even open to what she's saying. It's about me. That's what I hear from him all the time. Me.
But you know what? I just needed to just get away. I've been feeling worn down, maybe depressed.
Now, you notice how, obviously, it's about him. I've been feeling worn down. I've been feeling depressed. I've been feeling, sir, but who are you the only one in the relationship that might feel like that? Are you the only one that feels like that? You see, and if you don't engage with your partner and actively listen to what they're saying, you'll just think it's about you. And that shows a lack of empathy and emotional intelligence. And so when I'm listening to him, I'm like, bro, like, your wife is telling you she wanted to go on a holiday with you. And you know what's really interesting? I said this last time. as men, sometimes we don't listen because what we're hearing is something else. Just like women interpret, men also interpret. I remember when I was in a relationship and some years back, and the girl was like, "Oh, I want you to go on holiday with me," and I was like, I want to go on holiday. Yeah, I don't want to go on holiday because I don't have the money to go on holiday. That's honest truth. That's what I should have said, but I didn't. I said I don't want to go on holiday, but she wants to go on holiday. She likes holidays. Holidays make sense for her. Now, if I had just been truthful and honest with myself in terms of what my feelings were, hey, look, I don't want to go on holiday. I don't want to go on holiday because I don't have the money. Can we work towards it? And then she turned against me. Then okay, cool. But she didn't do that, and I didn't give her the chance to even help me reason or help come up with a plan or whatever. I didn't even give it that chance. And as a relationship, as a team, you want to give each other the best possible time, to be able to work together. That's what you're aiming for, right? You're aiming to work together. At the end of the day, you want to be able to be a team.
So when we're talking about giving our kids a better life, let's make sure they're living every day, and we can be the examples of them living every day of their life.
No, I love that point, of course. Yeah, that's fair enough. Be a good example. You've gone to Africa, it's changed your mind, it's made you think differently. I love all of that. I love it. I think it's amazing. What I don't like is this next part.
So we can stop that.
I think you should.
I don't understand why the sex is important to you.
It's really not. You can have a woman as your assistant as long as she's approved by me.
Okay, so when he said it, first and foremost, I already knew it was going to go downhill. Yeah, which is that as soon as you say you want to achieve her stuff, all right, cool. Why can't it be a man? Do you see how mad that is? Why can't it be a man? Why does it need to be a woman? Okay, if it's a woman, then it can be an older woman. What's wrong with that? Right? But then at the same time, why does Tish feel that it shouldn't be a younger woman? Because you know your man. And obviously as well, at the same time, I always say this as well. Prevention is better than cure. Right? Don't allow yourself to be in a position where you can get compromised, run out of it situation first. Right? Putting a young, beautiful woman as your chief of staff, yeah, it's gonna have problems. It's gonna have problems. Bear in mind, you've got form and history. It's going to have problems. So, yes, I totally understand why Tish felt some way about it and wanted to have control over it.
I'm telling you I need a chief of staff so I can spend more time with the family, and you're giving me side-eye like I'm on a dating app.
I just think that you need someone that's older.
Now, he said, obviously, I don't know why he gave me the side-eye about choosing somebody, choosing someone, a man instead of a woman. And sir, how can you not realize that? She doesn't trust you. That's the honest truth. And you've done things that have caused the trust to be broken. So to pretend as if you don't know why she's saying what she's saying, again, is the lack of just empathy, the lack of being aware, the lack of ability to just understand your partner and listen. And it's frustrating because I want to watch, I'm like, is this what you've been doing for the last 15 years? My God. Tish, what are we doing here? Why are we still in this relationship, this marriage? Or at least, why are we not getting counseling? And someone might say, well, you know what? Are you promoting that people should divorce? I promote where people should not be getting trashed upon, abused, shouldn't be, in relationships where their partner doesn't think about them ever. They're just using them as a baby mother. Like, you've got a wife, not a baby mother, not a creche woman, not a babysitter. You've got a wife. That doesn't mean that you have to give up everything, but it means just understanding that you have a partner. You have a partner, and you don't get to treat them anyhow, any way you like. So yes, choosing a chief of staff that's going to be a woman. Why would you want to put yourself in a position where you have a woman chief of staff that's young and beautiful? Why would you want to do that for? Why? And the truth of the matter is, again, you saw how he flipped it onto her. Oh, it's about the family. They are Maurice, Marsau, Martel, all M's problematic. M for murder, because that's what they're doing. They're murdering their relationships because all they think about is them. You're talking about, oh, I think about the family. I want to have more time with the kid. No, but you're thinking still about you. Because instead of you choosing somebody who could be a man, okay, so what's the problem? If they're gonna give you more time to be with the kids and everything, and that's the objective, why not have a male chief of staff? Why do you need a woman chief of staff? Ask yourself that question. The real reality is you like to move mad. The real reality is you're giving yourself opportunity to move mad. The real reality is you like to be close to danger, and there's no need. because it hurts your family. But you don't think about that. You never thought about that. That's why you didn't think about the text that you sent Iran in last season, because for you, as far as you're concerned, you are the one that you're thinking of. Only you. That's why in the end of the episode, he says, "Oh, I never thought it. You know what? It didn't hurt me." Yeah, but well, not about you. We're talking about the fact that your family, right? Your family. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, listen, guys, like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the uploads. We appreciate you guys. We'll see some more reviews coming out in the next few days. I appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay locked.